Hi, everyone. I have an insight that comes from the Lord about delay when it is a tool used in witchcraft against you. Okay, so please pray for confirmation and discernment over all words that you hear so that you can take this back to the Lord to understand His wisdom, His counsel behind dismantling these sort of spells and attacks against what He's trying to do in your life for His glory, as well as also just insight, because this was something that I learned of just recently. I'm forever a student, so I'm always learning. And he told me to share this insight. So it's not in its totality. This is meant to be a tool of encouragement for you to go seek after him for more revelation and what this looks like in your own life and how it's applicable or in the lives of others that you're interceding for. So one thing that he was showing me is when a coven or a witch or a warlock is coming up against you, they're going to use spells, right? And the different type of spells are meant to bind you. It's not that just this one spell is going to prosper against you. It's like they have to layer on spells until it gets to a point where it's successful. So then you're bound enough so that they can then go in and do what they want. And think of Samson in the Bible, where Samson was bound and they kept trying to bind him in different ways until they finally succeeded once they found the source of his strength. And so that'll look like different things for you. If you are on a timeline right now where the Lord is about to set forth breakthrough in your life, then the enemy is going to try to pinpoint that area of breakthrough to bind you, to keep you delayed so that it can steal from you, that it can conquer you, that it can do whatever, right? And so when a coven, a witch, or warlock is coming up against you with delay, they are trying to slow you down in time to steal your spoils, your treasures, your riches, whatever that looks like. And again, these aren't always financial, right? They're just trying to succeed in attacks of various kinds against you for whatever motive they have, whatever reasoning or purpose that they have, because that varies. But the Lord's just trying to help you understand what that looks like. Especially if you're starting to identify patterns where maybe you feel like you're trapped in like this time loop where you're on a highway constantly going in loop and never taking your exit. You're seeing, fruits of a setback, arrested development. You feel like you're in a spiritual cage, and where you see, right, that is a spiritual cage, because it is in fact a spiritual cage. So whatever that looks like, I'm just trying to give you some breakdown. And it's like you're running a race, and all of a sudden, instead of running fast, you're running in slow motion. So the enemy can come up and take your wallet, your backpack, your purse, your watch, and just like rob you right then and there. And there's like nothing you can do, right? That's what this is like. And it's not just one attack of delay. It's like if the witch, warlock, coven wants to get you in delay, they're doing, the Lord had us pray against time reversal spells. They're doing different things to keep you within a demonic dominion. Even though you are in a dominion of Jesus, they are still trying to keep you in captivity. And so one thing that the Lord was breaking down for me is Ephesians 6:12-13. A spiritual host of wickedness in heavenly places is how these covens, witches, or warlocks get their kind of authority and power and rank up within that thing's, rulership. And that there was a deity that was worshipped in ancient civilizations for being the deity of air and the sun. And it was the sun worship had a lot to do with the calendar system, again, time, right? And wisdom, esoteric knowledge, civilization things, cultural things, mankind things, whatever it was under this false rulership. But these were attributes of worshiping this deity. And they had ceremonial priests that would do annual sacrifices or things. So it's not just God that has a timeline, it's also the enemy, right? And they used whatever they needed to accumulate sacrifice wise or magic wise to be able to appease this deity to still reap the rewards. But you see, because it's witchcraft, it's not real rewards. What it looks like is basically they're reaping harvest of stolen things of other people. And so essentially the spiritual host of wickedness in heavenly places is like these ancient deity things. And so when you're warfaring against evil forces in unseen realms, which the Lord was showing me, is that you have to understand the realm of authority. If the Prince of Air territory is there, and that's where these things are at, these spiritual hosts, these celestial hosts, they're like a funnel powering different things for their followers, their priests, to access its benefits to oppress, keep in bondage, steal, and siphon, because then it also kind of funnels back up for it to be empowered, if that makes sense. And we know the end is victory, and that Jesus won it all and defeated every single force of Satan. But I'm just trying to hopefully make this make as much sense as possible from what the Lord was showing me. And so the way that you understand dismantling and countering these sort of attacks is recognizing the realm of authority. Because even though there's like a dominion of air that Satan is actively in and constantly battling, and we know this because in Daniel, remember when Daniel was praying, it took I think 21 days before an angel could reach him with his request, because he was fighting in that airspace. So it's a battle of authority up there. And so the way that you counter attacks of delay is to recognize you need to prophesy. Prophecy isn't just the office of a prophet, it's a gift, right? And you get to prophesy to these things, these spells, these curses, these demonic spirits that are operating underneath whatever spell is trying to prosper against you. And you prophesy the alignment of God and his sovereignty and his timeline and his authority over what this false deity, this false God is trying to keep you constricted and bound in. And the Lord was saying, in these sort of attacks, what he wants me to explain is the motivation and the encouragement side of seeing this, that just because you're finding yourself under attack doesn't mean it's going to prosper. Just because this attack is happening doesn't mean you can't rejoice. And he said this is the process of rejoicing he desires his children to see, so that you don't partner with feeling like, great, I'm stuck, or I'm this and that. Like, you don't feel discouraged or spiritually burnt out because you keep praying, but you're praying from a place of like exhaustion. He wants you to see the process of rejoicing. That he sang to me, Glory to Glory to Glory by Fred Hammond. And he said, glory to glory to glory is like climbing a ladder. You're literally walking up a ladder and climbing. And it's a forever opening to rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. And you may think, well, how do I rejoice if I'm experiencing this or that, or for X amount of time or this? And it's because you have to understand that you are already in the process of overcoming and dismantling that attack. So that's why you prophesy, because the word of God will come to pass, even if it doesn't happen instantaneous. You could be dealing with this for a week or 2 or months, however long, and yet and still you don't have to be discouraged. You can still rejoice always, because no matter the climb, right, no matter the process of this kind of attack or the spiritual setup, no matter the climb, you are in the dominion of Jesus Christ. So it's like spiritual delay is like this box, and you're like this little bright light going up, glory to glory to glory. You climb up that ladder to get out of it. So it doesn't matter if it takes 2 weeks. Remember, stamina and endurance is a real thing you have to have in warfare. Not everything is always going to be miraculous turnaround overnight. Even when Ezekiel prophesied to the bones, right? God was showing him that, but that physical manifestation of that, it looked very different, because even what he was seeing was in the spirit of the spiritual state of the people, right? So these things, they take time. And sometimes they are instantaneous depending on your timeline. So you can prophesy to that. I think I did a Bible study on this. I don't remember if I posted it though, but it was in Matthew 23. I'll have to probably circle back around and maybe make a video as the Lord leads, or if I can remember. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The point is, you don't have to be discouraged in identifying these sort of attacks, nor do you have to feel like you're trapped in this dominion of delay because of the enemy trying to prosper against you. Just like as the Lord was leading us to break the different spells so that this didn't keep us bound in different areas, you can too, by his wisdom, right? Lord, as a matter of fact, I don't come every day. I don't come into agreement with this timeline. I come in agreement with your timeline. As a matter of fact, because the thief has been found, I pray that you sevenfold would catapult us across the threshold barrier of like wherever you want us, right? Or whatever that looks like. These are just examples, but I will post scripture in the description box below that he gave me. And I hope this made sense. I was trying my best to really explain it in such a way that I feel would be not discouraging, but you feel encouraged to press into the Lord more about what this kind of thing looks like when you have active enemies in family, friends, workplace, strangers you don't know that just happen to see that you're a bright light for the Lord and they're just attacking you. What this kind of looks like, but that you can still rejoice because Jesus has already won it all. He's not playing. So God bless you guys. Take care. I hope this helps.